In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to utilize a gamepad to control interactions in a VR experience, using the Gamepad Integration Add-on. This is a demonstration scene of a snowblower model. It has 4 scene states that change the color of the snowblower. What we are going to do is switch between those colors during the VR experience using a gamepad. With your gamepad connected to the computer, go to the Add-ons menu, select VR, then Gamepad Integration. Your gamepad will automatically be detected by the add-on and displayed at the top. This add-on supports Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo gamepads. The first thing to do is to click Discover. This dialog shows how each input on the controller sends a signal or a value to the VR experience when pressed. Using these values, we are able to control events through variables. I'm using an Xbox gamepad, and I'm going to press the X button. As you can see, once I have pressed a button, a new item has been added to the list. It shows the button name Xbox_X and the value released, or the value pressed, if I keep holding it. These are the values that SimLab Composer will respond to while dealing with variables. Similarly, I'm going to press the Y, B, and A buttons on the gamepad. Next to each button, I will press the Add Variable button to create a variable for that button in SimLab Composer's Training Builder. Once you are done, close the Discover dialog and open the Training Builder. In the Training Builder, add a Watch Boolean expression node, which we will use to trigger responses based on the value of the variables we created. If you were to open the variables list, you will see that 4 variables have been created, each for one of the buttons we pressed earlier in the add-on. Open the expression field in the node, then click on the plus sign in the top right corner to display a list of all available variables. Select the variable named Xbox_X. Now type ==, then a single quotation, then the word pressed, then another single quotation. The value pressed is, of course, identical to the value we saw in the add-on. Keep in mind that this must be in lowercase. Add and apply scene state response, then select the blue scene state from the Scene States tab and attach it to the response. Finally, connect the response to the Watch Boolean expression node. Now select both nodes and press Ctrl and C on the keyboard, then Ctrl and V to copy and paste the selected layers. Change the expression in the copied node from X to Y, and then attach the yellow scene state instead of the blue. Copy the nodes 2 more times and change the expressions and responses to B and A, and the scene states to red and green respectively. Close the Training Builder, and from the add-on click on Link Experience. Link Experience will create a Training Builder node that is able to establish an external connection. This allows the gamepad to work even if you are running the VR experience on a standalone VR headset or a mobile device. If you go to the Training Builder, you will find a new tab has been created. Within that tab is an external connection response that is already set up and ready. Make sure that you do not remove this tab or the nodes within it, as they allow the gamepad to work during the VR experience. Now that we have set up the connection, click on Connect to VR to link the gamepad to the VR experience. In this dialog, you will find a Copy URL button, which would enable you to manually set up the external connection. However, since we already clicked on Link Experience, we do not need to worry about this function. Make sure that this dialog remains open. From the VR Viewer menu, select Show in Viewer, then select Desktop Mode. Press X on the gamepad and notice how the character jumps. Pressing other buttons changes the color as intended, but when pressing X, the color changes to blue and the character jumps simultaneously. This is due to the ability of the VR viewer, in desktop mode, to use a gamepad for navigation. It uses both sticks to move and look around, and the X button for jumping. To fix this issue, we can either map the buttons to something that is not being used for navigation, or we can temporarily disable the navigation using the gamepad. Let us go to SimLab Composer and see how we can achieve the latter. From the Create menu, select Shapes, then Draw by Dimensions, and create a cylinder. Set its height to around 0.3 and its radius to about 2, then click OK. Position the cylinder at the center of the snowblower. Go to the Material tab and set its alpha to 0 to make it transparent. We are going to use this invisible cylinder as a motion sensor. Once the user enters this cylinder, the gamepad movement will be disabled and only the mapping from the add-on will function. Select the cylinder and open the Training Builder. Create a user enter node event and attach the cylinder to it. Now right-click on an empty area in the diagram to show the context menu. Go to User and select Enable Gamepad Navigation. Connect the response to the event and set the response to false to disable the navigation. Now once the user approaches the snowblower, the navigation will be disabled. But we need a way for the user to re-enable navigation. To do that, we are going to use one of the gamepad's buttons. Go back to the add-on and click Discover. Press the right bumper, for example, then click on Add Variable. Go back to the Training Builder and add a Watch Boolean Expression node. Expand the expression field, then, from the Add Variable button, select the right bumper variable. Type in equal, single quotation pressed, single quotation. Now copy the Enable Gamepad Navigation response and attach it to the node. Make sure you set it to true to re-enable it. With the VR connection window still open, run the VR experience. Notice how once I approach the snowblower I completely stop moving. I can now use all the buttons on the gamepad as they were mapped, without any interference from the navigation controls. Once I hit the right bumper, I regain the navigation ability. Let's go back to SimLab Composer and see how we can use the analog stick to create interactions. We are going to rotate the snowblower around its center using the analog stick. From the Gamepad Integration Add-on, click on Discover. Push the right stick and notice how it has two values, one for vertical movement and one for horizontal movement. They both gradually go from -1 to 1 to cover the full range of the stick's movement. We are going to use the X value, which is the horizontal movement of the analog stick. Click on Add Variable on the right stick X item. Select the snowblower from the Objects tree and open the Training Builder. Add a Watch Boolean Expression node and expand the expression field. Click the Operation drop-down menu and select Is Not Equal. This will create an expression where we only need to replace the red text with a variable or a value. Remove the first red text and from the variables list, select the Xbox right stick X variable. Remove the second red text and type 0. This node will trigger events whenever this variable's value is not equal to 0, which means whenever the analog stick is being used. Create a ticker event. Set the interval to 0.01 and attach the output boolean from the event to the watch expression node. This setup means that whenever the analog stick is moved, the ticker will run the responses attached to it. Make sure the snowblower is selected. Go to the Object tab, select the Get Node Rotation Response, and attach the snowblower assembly to it. Connect it to the ticker event. Create a set rotation response and set its duration to 0. Since we want to rotate the object around its z-axis, we are going to use the yaw channel and introduce the value from the analog stick to it. Go to the Numbers tab and add a number variable value node, and select the analog variable. Connect the node to the Get Rotation node, then create an addition response. Connect the value channel from the number variable value to the number A channel and connect the yaw to number B. Finally, connect the result to the yaw channel in the Set Rotation response. Make sure to connect the Execute channel and attach the snowblower assembly to the Set Rotation response. The only thing remaining is to connect the values of pitch and roll, which we want to remain as they are. Directly connect them from the Get Rotation node to the Set Rotation node. What we now have is a system where once the analog stick is used, a ticker starts running. On each interval it gets the rotation of the object and adds the value of the analog stick variable to it. Since the value ranges from -1 to 1, it will be added to or deducted from the yaw value, mimicking a rotation animation. Close the training builder and run the VR experience. As you can see, upon pushing the analog stick, the snowblower rotates. Depending on how much you push the stick, the speed of the rotation will vary, since the analog stick is pressure sensitive. If you need to further increase or decrease the speed of rotation, you can use a multiply response to adjust the value of the right stick prior to adding it to the yaw channel. The Gamepad Integration Add-on is a versatile tool that bridges the gap between physical hardware and virtual interaction. By utilizing these features, you can create immersive, tactile, and highly responsive VR experiences that are accessible across multiple platforms and devices.